Hi everyone, welcome to another ERP podcast with me, Shakir. So I have an interesting guest with me. She's one of the CIOs handling the MENA region for one of the large international bank. She's worked in multiple different regions. She's worked in Hong Kong, Mexico, China, and now she's in GCC handling the GCC market. I'm very honored to welcome her today for the podcast. And we're not just going to talk about business, we're also going to talk about her social initiatives, like one of the charity organizations which is running, focusing on building schools for underprivileged from around the world. So I would like to welcome Linoy Kidd. So hi Linoy, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great. So for the viewers who don't know about you, so would you mind helping them through what you do,
Sure,
what your
sure,
current role is at?
Sure. So my day job
Yeah.
is so basically I help run the technology stack
Okay.
for trading and security services. And I've been doing that for multiple years now. As you said, I've been in multiple roles in many different countries.
Right.
So I started in the UK, then I went to Hong Kong, then I went to China, then I went to Mexico, and now I'm here. Every location that I go to, I learn more not only about the culture, the people, but it also helps me as a leader grow because there's a different way of tapping into the psyche of people from different cultures to get them to deliver high priority technology for the business growth.
Yeah.
So that's my day job.
Nice. Good.
And then by night, I basically, my passion project is I build schools. So
Nice.
I am going to, on the 17th of August, going to be flying to Malawi to build my 10th.
Nice.
Last year was our 10th year. And so it's kind of like 10 in 10, but it's actually the 11th, but I'm going to call it 10 in 10. And we've built all over the world. So we've built in Malawi, Senegal, Haiti, Nepal, Nicaragua, and next year we'll go to Guatemala.
Nice.
So multiple locations. They're now educating thousands of children over the 10 years. But not only that, they also educate teenage mothers who have the right to return back to school. So they take their babies on their back and they go and get educated. So I really wanted to make a change, not within those communities, to make a sustainable change.
Very good. Very good. Well, good to hear that you have a social cause as well. That's really, really important. So I wish you best of luck for much more schools and much more countries that you're going to explore as well.
Thank you.
Good. And now, since you worked in different markets, like you worked in Mexico, you worked in Hong Kong and China and India. So how did these experience help you in your decision-making process in terms of technologies that are coming in? Now you're in GCC. I'm sure that would have added value to your quest in handling this technology stack and so on. How different are they and how is it helping you with this exposure to different countries?
Actually, in every country that I go to, I always set a strategy. Not only within the technology space. So there's three areas that you need to ensure that you combine in order to deliver. So you need to make sure that your technology stack is fit for purpose.
Correct.
And what fit for purpose means is it's sustainable. It's not going to become technical debt in time. So every location, you need to ensure that is the case. You need to ensure that the people that you have are the most talented in the right place at the right time at the right location. So that's number 3. And you need to ensure that you have the processes in order to do that. So it's like a three-pronged approach to delivery. But what I always make sure is that whatever we do, the customer is at the heart of delivery. So what the business are trying to deliver is where the technology is an underpin and we are a partner in that.
Right.
So in every location, that's what we've tried to do and give them the best that we can in that location within the budget requirements.
Right.
In order to deliver to the business, in order for the business growth. And what I would say about my tenure here, so I started 5 years ago, and as you'd remember, 5 years ago is exactly when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, the technology at the time that we really, really needed was communication.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't put people on a plane anymore to go and do X, Y, Z. We couldn't.
Correct.
So we really needed something that would combine being able to see everyone, right? And the technology at that point was actually Zoom.
Yeah.
Because then we could talk to all of our teams all over the world.
Right.
And it was on the technology stack for so long, but during COVID we managed to rack and stack it so fast because we really, really needed it. So that's what I mean by the right time, the right location, with using the right technology for that time.
Right.
I'll give you a funny story over COVID. I know that we've got a lot of time, right? Hopefully.
Yeah. No problem.
So COVID hit, okay? I'd only been in the job 1 week. I didn't know my team. It was new to me. So I inherited a new team. I inherited a new place, a new location. And I had to ensure that team would perform at its highest, at its peak for the business, so that the business didn't have any downtime. And you've got to remember that we've got to make sure that everything is compliant, that the regulator has approved it, et cetera, et cetera. But at the same time, you've also got to realise it's COVID. People are scared. You have to tap into, how are the morale of those people as well. So during that time, we worked extremely, extremely hard. But because we had, Zoom as our technology underpinner, at say 8 p.m. when we had Canada, Mexico, all these countries come online, we would actually do every day 8 p.m. a CrossFit on Zoom.
Wow, serious?
Seriously. So so it became like it became like, oh, it's 8 p.m. Let's get the whole team together and do a CrossFit. So it was an amazing time actually. Yeah. When you look back on it now, I think, wow, we really not only did we deliver a lot, but we managed to keep morale high in such a interesting times, right?
Oh yeah.
And the world's changed since that time, I would say.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's an interesting story. Actually, that's one of the interesting things that have happened. Even during the COVID times, my kids used to go to school, and during COVID times, it was not happening. So I've seen that a lot of these classes, physical training classes, happen in the Zoom itself. They see, do this, do that, you do the plank, you do all
cool.
jogging and so on. Yeah, so that's how
cool.
it started. So it was really interesting idea. Since you worked in banking sector, it's a very compliant-driven organization. So everything you do is you have to do in a very much detailed way of compliance ready. So whenever there's a technology requirement, how do you look at it? What is your approach in bringing in this technology to make sure the compliance ready, the vendor's able to deliver and so on? Whereas if you look at a private organization, even though there's a compliance, but not that to the level of what a banking industry will look like. Right. So how do you choose these solutions for these industries?
So basically, it's a very interesting question because specifically in this location, there's so many regulations that have like the PDPL in Saudi Arabia, for instance, does not allow personal data outside of the kingdom.
Right.
So you really need to look at your regulator, look at who are you servicing, and what regulations you have. So the PDPL, the NDMO, all of these things, Article 42, etc., etc. These are all things that you need to ensure that the technology is compliant with. Right. And therefore we do a very, very deep dive and ensure that what we choose is compliant with that, but not only compliant with at that moment. So we do a white paper and we actually do a whole scan to see what can and cannot be done down to these regulations in these specific countries. So Turkey is another one, Saudi Arabia is another one, Egypt also has some restrictions on cloud. So we really, really need to ensure that we're compliant in those locations and we look at those regulations. Right. And that, again, we use the technology that's fit for purpose. And it's very, very important for us, in cyber, et cetera, that all of this is compliant and locked down.
Right, right. Actually, this is a very good, interesting discussion. Why I'll tell you, because everybody wants to be driven by compliance, but whenever I'm talking about a private institution, private organizations, right? If you're looking at banking, it is a must. It cannot be compromised with. But here, if you want to run behind a perfection, sometimes the decisions are not taken on time in private organization. Let's say they have a plan of 6 months or 9 months to evaluate an ERP system or a CRM system. They go with the compliance, and then, you know what, it takes too much of an effort, let's just drop it. So does that anything like that happens in the banking? How are we able to take those decisions on time? Like, because you have started something, you have to finish it, right? And how does those decisions, the hierarchy works in the banking sector? Is it, can you share some light on that?
Yeah, this question is very it's a very hard and interesting question.
Right.
So, yes, everything has to be compliant. The way that we've done it is within the life cycle. So we run Agile. We need to make sure that we have accountability across the stack, not only within technology, but also on the business side.
Right.
As part of that journey, cyber is on every single junction of that, and they need to approve every single junction of that. And I'll give you an example. Every single change that we do in Saudi Arabia goes through cyber first for approval. So that's how we don't wait to the end. You see what I mean?
Exactly.
We're almost like baking it into the program, so that we're dealing with the issues before they arise. It's almost like being not reactive but proactive across the estate.
Proper planning. It's a very detailed, structured planning.
Because you have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be. And also, you know, when you've been in banking and you've been in banking and you have long tenure within, you have seen a lot, and you can take that education, and in every single new technology that you're bringing in, you can take that across the stack and actually learn from, okay, this is the hurdle I had last time, so now I'm going to fix that, almost like prefix it.
Right. Gotcha. Good. So now let's say when you're selecting a partner or a solution or a system or a technical stack, what would be the key things you would look for in that team? You know, I'm talking about a partner or a technology stack. What would you look for? So if you
So actually, the first thing that we need to do is say, what is the outcome of this technology? So, for instance, if it's to bring new products live, then we need to ensure that that vendor, or if it's built in-house, is going to give us that product suite for the business, right? If it's just a vanilla out the box, let's say, then the thing that we would look for is agility. We want to ensure that we make very small iterative changes that we can deliver at pace, and you know, that everything is in place. So the price point is correct. The team that's on the ground is correct. That they're team players. That they're going to work on solutions and not issues. You know, work with us as a partner to ensure that we can deliver at pace to the business. In order, at the end of the day, it's all about business revenue and ensuring that you hit your regulations. Absolutely. And if you can do that, then that is basically what we're looking for. But at the end of the day, we really need to hit what we want that technology to be.
Correct.
So if it's around product suite, then you need to focus on product suite. If it's around speed, so for instance, let's say you want a very, very fast to market, then you know you need co-location, etc., then that's something different. But it depends on what the outcome is, and that's what you look. That's what you focus on.
It's mainly driven by purpose. What is that you want to achieve?
Exactly. And then the outcome is always, you know, the business. Is it business growth, or is it regulation, or etc. So it's like it's like that.
Yeah, good. Now, in any of your digital transformation projects, because you've been within organizations for quite some time, so any digital transformation projects which you would have come across where, you have to change your strategy in the middle of it. Maybe the goal was something different, but you realize that, okay, no, this is not where we're going to head. But I think maybe another option which I can look at it, or anything which you switch gears during the digital transformation project, anything which happened, which it was a learning curve for you, but you want to share that experience, any such thing has happened?
So, okay, so I'll go back a little bit. Like when I was in the UK,
Yeah.
One of our systems. So I'll take it back a little bit. So the business that we were working very closely with, we were partnering with, was growing so much. So I'll give you an example.
Okay.
When I started, they were doing 2,000 trades a day. That's it.
Okay.
They went to 20,000 trades a day.
Wow.
Imagine what that did to the system. It blew the system up. Literally, I would have infrastructure. They were like, Linoy, the top has literally come off again.
Wow.
The heat that you're generating.
Yeah.
So we really, really needed to ensure that technology was fit for purpose for the growth of the business. Right. And we needed to do that in a very speedy way because A, it was breaking the people because they were working long hours to keep the system alive.
Right.
And B, we really needed to ensure that the business could then grow and they weren't capped, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because of the technology.
And this is going back years now.
Right.
So we started the process, right? Off the back of that process, and by process, I mean we had the product owner, we had the technology owner, we worked very closely, we worked through the night to get this thing delivered. So it was a very hard project, blah, 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 blah. We learned so much in that process. We took a failing program and applied that methodology on that failing program, and we turned that program into a very, very successful program, just based off this one.
The experience which you had.
Yeah. So
Very
when
good.
I'm saying when you have tenure, you can really pick and choose what's working and what's not, and then adapt very fast. Yeah. And that's something that we've really, really tried to do all the way through. And that's not to say that we, there are some areas that you think, some days you go to work and you're like, who am I going to get beaten up today by? You know what I mean? Yeah. But we always get through it. I always try and strategize. I always try and look at the problem. Where can we fix it? Come up with the solutions. Make a plan, make a strategy, and put the thing live.
Yeah.
That's what I always try. Yeah. That's what I always try and do.
Amazing.
And learn from mistakes. Making mistakes is okay if you learn from them. Learn fast.
Of course, yeah. I think every CIO would have a diary which they would keep and all the failed things which they did. And then the next project comes, okay, check mark.
Yes, okay. Exactly. And I wish I could go back to my young self, and say, these are all your learnings.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more, absolutely. Yeah. So now, because you're heading all these projects, what is more important or challenging for you? Is it selecting the technology, or is it the change management or convincing the team internally to use these technologies in the right way? So technology is one side of it, has its own complications on itself, but the other side of things is the people who are using it. So
I have a story on this, and this is all about journeys.
Okay. So
I'm all about putting those people that are going to be using the system into the program so that they start using the system before it goes live. So do the UAT, get the log on, do a day like you would do. So if you're in ops, do an ops day on the new system, see how it works, and take them on the journey. Because culture change, like you're saying, is very, very, very hard. So you need to start taking people on the journey. And you know what it's like. I know what it's like. When you have a technology and you love the technology and you want to be in that technology, even though it's like old, it's very hard to move from A to B. But once you have B, and it's like the user interface is so nice and it's so fast and everything's so easy, and it's so compliant, with every cyber regulation going, etc., etc., then people will be bought in, but it takes time. And I really try and put it on the early side.
Right. Yeah. So I think
adoption.
testing is really, really important. The more you test and do these lab-wise scenarios, that's going to help you the better adoption of the system for sure. Yeah. So that's a very good point. Now, in terms of this technology, let's take an example of an enterprise business solution. It could be an ERP or it could be a CRM or a customer mobile application and so on. Where do you think the technology is heading now in the near future, like in the next 5 or 10 years? Let's talk about 5 years. 10 years still a long way. So let's talk about 5 years. Do you think any areas where the partners or technology stack owners are not focusing on right now, but that is where the technology is heading towards? Any such examples that you want to share?
So I get asked a lot about AI, right? Every conference I go to, everyone's asking, Lenoy, what about AI, and are you losing sleep, etc. Yeah. This is what I always say. In every job that you have right now, there is something called low touch, high touch. So when you're looking after the trading floor, it's my job to ensure that my head of trading is completely happy with what he has in terms of his technology stack, from the low end to the high end to the medium. He's happy. He's secure. He's like, Lenoy, I need to grow revenue in Turkey. We need to do X, Y, and Z. Think of a solution for me. That is called high touch. He wants to talk to me. He wants to ensure that my strategy is aligned to his business plan and his business growth. Anything that's like low end, like operational, okay, we're doing this every day, it takes 2 hours, it's painful, it's manual. STP, AI, robotics, please, and start like what I call working smart.
Right.
So it's like the Jaws effect, But it really comes down to low touch, high touch, and there's a McKinsey report that's just out. I really recommend that anyone go and read this thing, and it's like only 1% of the industry is using AI right now in an effective manner.
Okay.
And they're expecting it to go to 74%. Imagine from 1 to 74. Rapid. So it's like, and if we can start the adoption now, and we can take everyone on the journey, and they understand what low and high touch means and where you use it effectively, then I think we're in for a winner on this one. So I'll give you an example of this, of AI, right? So, for instance, I have infrastructure all over MENAT, I have a tool that's written for me that can show me where I have low utilization, which means I can either cross-use or I can reduce my cost. I never had that before. So when I say we as CIOs can really work smart, we can. Yeah. So we can use the tools, we can use the technology in our favor, and we can really, really, start pushing the boundaries. So I can illustrate where my cost save is coming from, to my management. Yeah. And actually, use this to our advantage. Yeah. So that's how I see, and I see that. I really feel like it's going to be a very slow iterative growth over time, because you still have AS400s in the bank. You still have, you still have all those APIs that you need to build in order to use the old, to cross leverage the old versus the new.
Of course,
and that's going to take time.
I think that's an interesting point which you said, a tool for the CIO. I've never heard about it before. Because I know that CFOs has tool. You know what the CFO has? Dashboards. Even dashboards. Yeah. They want to see.
I have a dashboard.
That is interesting to see what you have on your dashboard. Because I know the CFOs love these dashboards to see where the financial leakage is happening, where is the cost I'm losing, where the leakage. But for you as a CIO, which tool is giving utilization? That is something which every CIO would be.
It's very powerful.
Oh, nice. I will have to have a look at it once to see how I can advise the other CIOs to bring up the old tools. In your experience, because you've interacted with different partners, companies, and solutions. So in your experience, where do you see these companies are making mistakes when opting for a digital transformation projects, right? So this is something as a common mistake where you see and you want to advise these companies, hey, don't do that. So I'm sure there would be some scenarios which you want to share about. What would that be? Where do you think these mistakes are happening for companies who are looking at digital transformation projects?
I wouldn't say mistakes.
Okay. Maybe a wrong approach, you put it that way.
Yeah, the thing is with me, right, it's all about loyalty. Like there are some vendors that I've worked with for years, and they've built the loyalty, and it's like, it goes beyond the blood. Like I can ring someone up in Paris and they'll do something for me. I'm based in Dubai,
Right.
but you know that it's 20 years worth of relationship and loyalty, and I think really this is, again, I know like I'm a repeat record here, but it really goes down to the high touch again.
Right.
If you can, as a third party, build that loyalty over time, like my one of the things that I do is as part of my job is RM. I have to relationship manage my business. It's very, very important to me. And I think if you can, as a third party, have that approach where you are, let's build and make this together.
Right.
Instead of this is my technology and you're using it. It's a completely different mindset. And if you can do that and you can have that culture, I think you'll see the growth mindset and the transformation mindset will change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's very important, building the trust with the customers. And I know there is a relationship between the partners that's very, very important.
Exactly.
Because I've seen that there are companies who work for decades with a particular partner. They're also reinventing the technology. The company is growing together. But I've also seen an average of about somebody working with a partner is just when the go live is finished and then they wash off their hands. They don't have the relationship anymore.
Exactly.
Then there is a new technology or a new solution coming in. They work with somebody else. So that I think the trust building is very, very important.
And also it's a mindset, because you need to think this isn't about today. It's about 10 years. And It's about what that relationship is going to give you in 10 years.
True. I think if you have to give an advice for companies who are looking at a digital transformation project, okay, so what would that advice be? Be it small, be it medium, be it large scale organizations, because you have handled this. Like we talked about your CIO diary of issues which you messed up, which you want to advise them on. So what would be some ideas or suggestions which you want to give to these companies who are starting the digital transformation projects?
It's down to the agile methodology for me.
Okay.
Honestly, like small iterative change is very, very important. Very important. Because if you make small change, you're making small change not only within the technology stack, but also in the culture, also with the people, also working together. And you can literally grow the digital platform in a very, very nice way. So no big bang.
Yeah.
No, let me, go and, I've got the requirements, I'm going to go code it, and then I'm going to bang it into production, and then it's going to break production because I didn't, go through that small iterative change. I think it's very, very important. And I think that the way that works the way that it works in the culture change, it's a culture change not only within technology, but also within the business, and everyone is accountable. It makes everyone accountable so that everyone has what we call skin in the game to ensure that the best product gets delivered.
Correct. Yeah. You focus on one thing at a time and then you move forward to the next. Yeah. That's very interesting. Tell me more about Infusion 100 for the listeners who's watching it. So I want to know what you do in Infusion 100. What is your roadmap for it? Because you have a high demand work where you require most of the time. Then I know you are very good in terms of boxing and your workout regime, and on top of it, you also have a social initiative which you do. So I want to know more about it. What are you doing?
Okay. So I'll give you the whole lowdown of how it came up to pass and what we do. So about 10 years ago, I was on a management training course, and it was actually, for anyone who's British, they would know this. It was actually held at Sandhurst, which is the military base, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as part of that program, it was a 1-year program. It was a transformational program. So it was taking leaders, young leaders, and it was growing them to be the best leader that you can be.
Mm-hmm.
And as part of that, you needed to do one project throughout the whole year.
Right.
And I started almost kind of losing sleep, I want to do something big,
Yeah.
I don't want to just, most people were like, oh, let's change the onboarding process. Let's change, the aircon, 2 degrees, so then we're saving money for the bank. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something big. And I was lying in bed and I was like, I think it was 3 a.m. or whatever, and I was like, let's do a program together. Let's change the world together. Let's build a school in Africa together. So I emailed the main guy who was in charge of that managing training course, and I was like, I've got this crazy idea. What do you think? He's like, no, you're crazy. But if you can convince the people to do it with you, then I'm in. Right. And the idea was, everyone on the course, there was 33 people, to walk 100 kilometers non-stop, which is a long way.
Okay.
Raise enough money to build a school in Africa, which is 33k USD.
Uh-huh.
So it's 1k per person, and we can go.
Right.
And then my idea is, I take all 33 people to build a school, right?
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Logical. Yeah. So, anyway, he's he gives me 5 minutes at lunch. Everyone's clanging, the bowls,
right.
eating. There's a lot of chaos, and then he's like, Linoy wants to say something. So I get up and I'm like, hey guys, how about we do a project together? No one's ever done it before. We would be making history. Let's build a school in Africa. And everyone's standing ovation.
Wow.
So it was amazing. So he was like, there you go, you got your permission, now you've got to go and do it. So we organised the 100k walk, and we did it along the Thames Path, and everyone came. It was amazing.
Right.
So we all walked 100 kilometres. It took us 24 hours.
Wow.
So we walked through the night and everything. It was amazing. It was amazing. And then we ended up at the headquarters. It was amazing. And then we built the school, and then we did the presentation, and we showed the school. It was finished with 600 kids, and it was unbelievable. We got up on stage and we sang the Chichawa songs they do when they're building, and all the rest of it. And then that guy, he said to me, this is amazing, but do you think you can keep it going? So the next year we walked 3 100 kilometres walks in 3 different locations. So it was New York, London, Hong Kong. And we built another school, and then we had enough money for the next school. And then we just kept going and going and going and going. And then it's gotten to the point now where I have teams in Hong Kong, teams in the UK. I've got teams in India where they run the 100 kilometres.
Right.
And the money, and then we just build the money to build a school. So every year we're building in a different location.
Amazing.
And every year we're walking. So on the same day last year, we walked in 5 different locations, which was amazing.
Wow, great.
Yeah,
if you're happening another walk in Dubai, let me know. I would love to walk.
So it's usually around the 5th of December every year. Okay. So if there is, you'll get an invite.
Thank you so much. Well, love to.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So thank you for your time, Lina. It was really amazing to have you as a guest. And we discussed a lot of things. I'm sure it's for the viewers as well. It was an eye-opener, a lot of things which we discussed about. So thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.